Hello everyone and welcome. My name's Lainey and this is Big Girls Really Do Cry, and this is going to be a chatty catch up. It is the 5th of December. Wow, that's just flew by. And I think the last time I did one was early November, so it's been like a while. Um yeah, it's been quite a while. um so I'm probably not sure what was said then or what I told you about, but hopefully I don't repeat myself because that would be crap, wouldn't it? Um, anyway, we're going to start with something lovely and positive because we need that in this world, don't we? Anyway, for those of you who watch my channel, you will be aware of Bad Wolf, which is Susan, and she has started her own YouTube. Now, she started her own YouTube because she has gotten two absolutely gorgeous kittens called Maud and Mavanwi. And they are beautiful, beautiful girls who are completely entertaining. And so they now have their own YouTube channel. And quite often flying, you'll see if you go watch. So, never mind if you go watch and subscribe and all of that things, because who doesn't need to watch some lovely kittens? Everybody needs that in their life. So yes, I will put the link in below, and please go over and subscribe and have a watch of the videos, because it's just watching them. She's rescued them, and so they both come from a rescue. That's it. Like I made it sound like she just sort of spotted some, and you know, you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah. So it's basically following them, exploring their new environment, their new home, and you know, everything that surrounds that, and watching them, I guess, grow up as we go on. So the channel is called Maud and Mavanwi, and as I said, I will put a link in below. Please go and subscribe, because it's just something lovely and positive to watch. In this day and age, we definitely need it. So yeah, cool. So I thought I'd start with something lovely and positive. So done that. Now to get on with everything else. Ugh. Anyway, where to start? I'll go with, well, actually, diet, Mounjaro, diabetes. I'll go with that next, right? So diet's been fine. I have got a couple of food pictures. I'll put them in a minute. My diabetes I've been having a few hypos, which is like low blood sugar. So your blood sugar should be around 4 and 7, and mine has been 2.5, 2.6, 2.8, 1.3, yeah, and 3.8. So I've had various low blood sugars, and they wipe me out. Like, I'm wiped out after that. After that happened, it just sort of, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I am sort of being weaned off insulin. The hope is that I can be weaned off it completely, because obviously I was put on the Mounjaro to from my diabetic nurse to fix my blood sugar, and it's done a cracking job. And I can't just be taking off the insulin that I was on, so it's been lowered. So I was on 50 units in the morning, 50 units on a night. I am currently on 14 units on a morning and 18 units on a night. So that's a massive drop in it. And it seems what seems to be happening is that the current, obviously I went from 24 to 18 on both morning and dinner, morning and tea. But the tea one, I was showing low blood sugar. This is when I was getting the low blood sugars on a tea time. And that was causing, so that's why they've now lowered the morning one to 14. But it seems like what happens is it catches up again. So I start having low blood sugars again. So when they lower my insulin, my blood sugars become between sort of 7 and 9. and then about 2 or 3 days later, my blood sugars go into normal range, so sort of like, you know, 5, 6 type thing, 5, 6, 7, I guess. And then and then maybe I'll get like a 4.5 or whatever, which is still normal. And then after about a week of being on the lower dose, it starts to, I'm assuming it catches up, and then I start having low blood sugars. So I'm hoping that eventually I can be weaned off it completely, because that would be the ideal. And she's just told me that if I have another hypo, if it's on a tea time, I'm to lower my morning dose of insulin by 2 units, and if it's on a morning that I have it, I'm to lower my tea time by 2. But usually my morning ones are probably between say 7.5 and 8.5. I don't know why, but I've heard other people say that the morning ones are always higher for some reason, and it's kind of strange because they don't eat from like, I don't know, say 9 o'clock on the night before. So you would think that wouldn't be the case, but I don't know. I don't know how these things work. Definitely no logic to them, I suppose. So what else? All right. Well, so that's covered the Mounjaro, my diabetes. So going back to the diet, as I said, it's been fine. I've had no issues, apart from once yesterday when my IBS seemed to come back. God, this picture's really dark, but I've had to block the curtain. It's actually morning here, right? But I've had to block the curtain because of the sun, which you can see over here, 'cause it's causing shadows. So if I don't block it, it'll be straight in my eyes. So yeah, so it's making the screen seem dark. But anyway, stop. What's the word? Getting distracted. Right, what was I saying? Yeah, so diet-wise has been fine. There's not many pictures, I think, just maybe 3 or something. But I'll put them in anyway, and you can see. Yeah, so basically, I wanted something different. So I had a burger, onion rings and peas, which I really enjoyed. I'm sure I didn't show that picture last time. It was a month ago. I'm sure I've had that more recent, definitely. But it's been a while because it's been so many weeks. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, my usual go-to eggs, mushrooms, and toast. Absolutely love that meal. I never get sick of it, and although I never want anything else, like in terms of like with the Mounjaro, it really helps like you not want food type of thing. But that's the one thing I always look forward to is my breakfast, and yeah, and I repeat it the same so many times it's ridiculous. But um, and then I had like we've got a local sort of, it's not a calf, like a deli sandwich shop type thing that does various things. So I got a jacket potato from there with salad and cheese, and I really enjoyed it. It was something different, I guess. Yeah, so that is all the food pictures. I didn't take many. I mean, I've done the eggs and mushrooms and toast thing, but you've seen it so many times. It's ridiculous, and so many things I have the same, and like Marks and Spencer's microwave meals or whatever else I've had. It's just so similar that I just didn't see the point. Um, anyway, the other thing I wanted to show you is a photograph of me from March this year. So I'm going to put that in now. Anyway, I think you can really tell, like, I've lost weight, especially sort of here, and that, and I think across my shoulders. The carers are telling us that, like, my legs, they can see it in my legs and stuff like that, but, like, for me, just looking back at that picture, I can just, I feel like in that picture, my neck started there and it sort of came straight down. So I think it's got a bit more shape than it did. So that's something, I don't know what that is, but it came up when I woke up this morning. So whatever, some sort of spot or whatever. But yeah, so despite the fact I can't be weird, I can see a difference in it. So yeah, it's just fingers crossed that I get weird before my birthday next year. That'll be cool. Right, so moving on from that. So my breathing machine, which is, you can't see because of the sun over there, it faulted again. So it had faulted a while ago and I had to send as a replacement. It faulted again. My son woke me up. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning with the alarm going off. Don't know why I didn't wake up, but I didn't. And it was basically saying machine failure, whatever. So I switched it off and I didn't use it. Now this was like early hours of, when was it? So it'll have been early hours of, not, I don't know what week it was, but it was early hours of a Saturday morning, right? So 6 o'clock on Saturday morning. So the place that deals with it, so the home ventilation team in the RVI, which is in Newcastle, they don't work on a weekend. It's Monday to Friday. And there was no way of getting in touch with anyone to get a replacement or anything. And that was quite frightening, considering that I use that every night. And not only is it for sleep apnea, it is for the hyperventilation syndrome that I have, which means I build up CO2. And obviously it causes issues. I do end up with I had a horrible weekend because I could barely sleep. I kept waking up and then I was just nodding off all the time and just it was horrible. And I had stuttering headaches, which can be caused by the CO2, but also with sleep apnea as well. It can give you stuttering headaches. And yeah, I had to wait till the Monday, and I just thought that was shocking, you know what I mean? And then when I spoke to them on the Monday and obviously explained, and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have an emergency." And I'm like, but it's got life support written on the plug. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's ridiculous that they don't have any option or anything, someone on call or anything like that for in these situations. Because it's like machine knows when or what time it is and if it's okay to bugger up, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that was really frustrating, but it's one of these things I'm just so used to, stupidness, you know what I mean? It's just frustrating. I've also got a couple of blister issues, which I've had many times before, and they just flare up every so often, and they've been an issue, and so that and the machine thing and the low blood sugars has just wiped me out, and I've kind of been a bit of a miserable bitch, if yeah, and anyway, I was thinking Ma was a miserable bitch, Anna. Yeah, probably. Anyway, so moving on to reablement and being able to get outside. It's stopped, right? So my reablement has stopped. So having issues with my blood sugars, having issues with no machine and not having any sleep when I was just exhausted, and the blisters and things, has meant that I've had to cancel my appointments in between because I just couldn't get up. I was just exhausted. And then obviously when you get hoisted in a sling, the sling sort of slides as you're being hoisted. It kind of slides and tightens across your skin, which would aggravate the blisters, because obviously it would be like rubbing across type of thing. So I mean, it may have been caused by the blisters, may have been caused by it, I'm not really sure, but yeah, so all those issues, plus there was no long-term decision yet. It was just gonna stop again in a couple more weeks, and it was and it would have just ended, and then I would have had to fight again, and I was so sick of it, to be honest. Really sick of it. It was really getting me down. And I spoke, and plus, I don't know if I'd said this before, that they'd said that I needed a manual handling assessment in RoboBitch before I could go outside. I'm not sure if I'd mentioned that last time, because I'd had a manual handling assessment done, but not in the electric wheelchair, so they wouldn't let us go outside, and that just really knocked me. Like, I think I just felt like a child, like I'm not allowed to do anything that I want to do. I can't, it's always like related to something, and it did put me down a lot, like really did. And I'm so frustrated that there's nothing in place. And I spoke to my OT, and she said the same thing, that it frustrated her, because yes, I understand that there's not going to be loads of people in my situation, but there's probably a few. So, like, if you're in a wheelchair and you spend a lot of time in hospital where you can't get up or whatever, you lose your stamina, you know what I mean? You lose your ability to sit for a long period of time. And obviously that happened to me, but then there's no, like, long-term support to get you back in. Not that it's like years or anything. It's literally probably would take maybe, I don't know, 3-4 months maybe. I'm not sure. But there's nothing in place, and it's just constant arguments with different, I was going to say departments, but that's probably not the right word, but different places that, like, and then it's backwards and forwards, and then they argue and that I'm arguing, and I'm just like left in the middle, just going insane, essentially, because I'm not allowed to just go outside. Yeah, it's really annoying. Really, really annoying. So I spoke to my OT, and we talked about it, and I said, look, I need something in place. I need to know that, all right, maybe they only have 6-month things, but why can't it be on like a sort of rolling thing? Like, I was going to say a rolling contract, like I'm trying to rent a phone or something, but you know what I mean? Where, like, they just, it starts again every time. Why don't I have to have an argument about it and a fight about it and then get it to start again, and you know what I mean? Go backwards in where I was and whatever. So anyway, she had a talk with her head of department, their head of department, and to try and sort something out about it. And then she rang me yesterday or the day before, I think. So it's now going to be transferred to another thing, which is a what's it called again? I can't remember what it's called. It's like a therapy thing, but even they don't have plans for someone in my situation. So what they're hoping to do, which I don't think will work, is liaison with the care the care provider that I have, and a social worker, to either increase my care so that I can have a carer in between my calls to then, like, help. I can't see it working, because one, the care companies are already, struggling with staff anyway. Two, if they, like, whilst I'm building up, if they're late coming to help me because of whatever reason, which obviously if they're in a call before, they can't just leave someone who needs them, but if they're late, like, that's going to be really detrimental to me. So, like, I don't know. I really don't know. I just wish there was a solution somehow, like, that why does it have to be so hard? Am I crying? Oh my god, I think I'm just frustrated because I just want to go outside. Oh, God, man. I get angry, I think, and I'm like, it makes us feel so wrong, like that I'm wrong. Because it isn't something, it's not just simple. It's just, and I've felt this loads of times, whether it's been issues with ambulances, issues with this, issues with getting weird, issues with everything. It's just, my district nurse used to say to me, it's not my fault, it's their fault, like in the sense they're supposed to like cover everybody, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just making it like makes me, whenever I get angry, I get upset. I'm just like, I couldn't have an argument with anyone because like I'd just be crying. But yeah, right, calm down, you Wally. Yeah, and yeah, I'm just frustrated because there's nothing, and I know that there's been issues obviously around my skin, around the issues with the low blood sugars and all of that stuff, and obviously the hoist before that, and you know they're just things that can't be like what's the word, not something you can plan for, but the rest of it should be. The rest of it should be, and that's the thing. So it looks like they're going to try and, well, she mentioned, we talked about it, and I said, I can't take this up and down nonsense, this like constantly fighting thing, and I need something obviously more concrete. I can't see what they're planning on doing working, but maybe it will. Fingers crossed, I think. I think they're going to try and wait until like I'm more off the insulin, so that the risk of low blood sugars and not as bad, I suppose, and go from there. So I'm thinking it's going to be next year, but yeah, it would be nice if something just went right. It would really be nice. What else have I got to explain? So a couple of other things that are nice actually. So if you remember, when we all did the stroke charity event back in the beginning of November, so this came in the post, which says thank you, and what's lovely is it's actually handwritten. So it just says, Lainey, thanks so much for raising an incredible amount of money. We are very grateful to you. Thanks, Andrea. And I thought it was really nice that it was handwritten. So massive well done to everyone who got involved, who helped and all that, donated, because obviously it's really appreciated and will go on to help a lot of people, I'm sure. So yes, and then speaking of charity, I want to give a shout out to That's Flippin' Retro, which is Jen and Alexis. They are holding a charity event, which is actually tomorrow. So today is the 5th of December. So it's 6th of December at 6 p.m. on their channel. I will link it below. They are doing a quiz, which I am hosting, along with Nick and Andrea and JP and themselves. And it'll be like a 3-round quiz, I think. I'll probably do extras just in case needed, but you know, that's me for you. And then after that, they're doing a raffle, and they've got lots of lovely prizes. I put in a lovely silver necklace, and there's loads of other things. So if I link them below, you can go. I think they did a live with all the different things that are in the raffle, and then you can I think it basically what you do is like you do for the one I do, is when you make a donation, you make sure you put a recognisable name and the word raffle, and then if your number comes up, if you're in the side chat at the time, I think you can pick your prize, and if not, the wheel will come back and choose a prize for you. So I will link that below, and then you can go and have a look if you want to get anything. And yeah, I shall see you. Just make sure you're there at 6 o'clock tomorrow to take part in the quiz, and I will be there and see you then. I think that's pretty much everything. I can't think of anything else that I might have missed, but if I have, I'll do in the next one. But as I mentioned in the beginning as well, I will link Susan's channel for her lovely cats, Maud and Mavanwi, and also, as I've just said there, that's Flippin' Retro's channel, so you can go and take part in the quiz, but also go and buy some raffle tickets before. I believe the £2 number, but I'll link their channel and then you can look at all the details there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're all good and etc. And I'll catch you next time. Bye bye now. Bye bye.